There was a wise old man that every kid in town was terrified of. He lived alone in a small cabin on the edge of town, rarely smiled, and seemed to have a permanent scowl on his face. Rumors followed him everywhere. Some kids said he hated children. Others claimed he chased people off his property. Nobody really knew the truth. Then, one afternoon, a young boy accidentally kicked his soccer ball through the old man's window. The sound of shattering glass echoed across the yard. The boy's heart dropped. He was convinced he was about to be yelled at. For nearly 10 minutes, he stood outside trying to work up the courage to knock on the door. Finally, he did. The old man opened it. The boy immediately apologized and offered to pay for the damage, even though he barely had any money. To his surprise, the old man didn't look angry. Instead, he disappeared inside and came back holding the soccer ball. But before handing it over, he asked, "Why are you crying?" The boy admitted he wasn't upset about the window. He was upset because he felt like a failure. His teammates blamed him for losing games. His coach barely played him. And no matter how hard he practiced, he never seemed good enough. The old man listened quietly. Then, he invited the boy inside. On a shelf sat dozens of dusty trophies and framed certificates. The boy was shocked. Next to them was a giant notebook. Inside were hundreds of pages labeled failed business, failed exam, rejected application, rejected invention. The boy looked confused. The old man smiled and said, "Every success in this room was built on a mountain of failures." Then he pointed to the notebook and added, "Most people quit on these pages." Years later, the boy became incredibly successful. And whenever people asked him the secret to his success, he always gave the same answer. "It started the day I broke a stranger's window," because the man everyone feared had taught him something priceless. Failure wasn't proof he couldn't succeed. It was proof he was trying.